Thanks for hopping on for our Power Hour. To start, we just have some people who are going to share from our conference with everyone, and then we will do some Power Hour activities. One of them actually from an idea from the conference as well. So, Casey or Jacqueline, do either of you want to share first?
I can go. Casey wants me to go first. Okay, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, so before I do anything, I'm going to show you. Oh, can I share my screen?
Yeah, you just click on the green share screen at the bottom.
First, let me close out of like all my budgeting stuff. That's what I was doing right before I finished. And for once, I got my checkbook to balance, and I was so excited. Normally, I'm like a few cents off. Okay, so let's see here. Can everybody see that? I can't hear anybody now. Am I supposed to be able to hear you? Okay. 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 I just figured if people want to take a screenshot, I'm going to talk about Melanie Mitro's presentation, and these are the two books she referenced. So I pulled up the pictures of them. She talked about Miracle Morning and the 5-second rule, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But in case anybody wanted to take a screenshot of these two as potential professional development, I think a lot of people in our group have read these ones before, because I've heard people talk about, like Amy, you told me about 5-second rule before, and Michelle, you referenced Miracle Morning. So, but in case anybody hadn't read those, I just figured I'd pull those up. Okay, Melanie's presentation was called The Shift, and I felt like she did that because Chris was there, which is cool. She talked about how after people go to a conference, specifically she was talking about Summit, they kind of have this post-summit paralysis. And she said that people will take all these notes at Summit and then make these to-do lists, and all of a sudden they freeze. And that your mindset is the biggest tool that you have to stop you from holding back when you freeze. So she talked a little bit there about stress and anxiety. And that's where she referenced this 5-second rule, because one of her friends had told her that there's a chapter in 5-second rule all about managing stress and anxiety. And so she just recommended that book based on that. But then she came up with some suggestions for if you feel like you're making excuses or procrastinating. And basically she talked about what she does every day. So she went through her first 3 hours a day. She said she wakes up at a certain time, and immediately she goes straight into her personal development time based off of the Miracle Morning. And one thing she said was you have to put on your own oxygen mask before you can help somebody else, which I thought was really good. So she talked about making sure that you're knowing why you're helping people, and then a lot of times PD can help you know that. She said sometimes our whys can get crowded by all the distractions, I think she called them shiny things or something like that. So like rank, recognition, titles, money, things like that. She talked about making sure that you're journaling. Some things she suggested were journaling what fulfills me in life, what makes me happy, what makes me keep pushing for more. She talked a lot about visualizing, which is good for me because I struggle with this one. So she said to write out your vision and then close your eyes and visualize exactly where you want to be with that vision. She recommended doing it like 3 to 5 years out. And then she talked about, she talked a little bit more about Miracle Morning, which I already said. Then she talked about affirmations. She said that I thought this was interesting. She Googles her affirmations and then she reads them out loud. And then as she's working out, she keeps repeating them. She must not be doing a whole lot of affirmations, but she keeps repeating them through her workout, and that kind of really sets her mindset for the day. And so then her second thing is her workout. That's like her next hour or so. And then her final thing she does is her to-do list. And she suggested if you're feeling like really overwhelmed and you feel like you're not moving forward, to look at your to-do list, like just list everything you can think of, and then circle the top 3 things that you feel like will get you the most results for today, and to do those first. And then the rest of the day, as you're going about your day, just work on the little things. So for example, like if right now you've really been struggling to invite, that might be one of your top 3 things. But you ignore all of your other social media and just focus on your inviting. And then you do the other 2 things. And then throughout the day, like responding and following up with people, or posting your workouts and things like that, all of those things are things you can do just, when you're at your kid's soccer practice, or while you're waiting for the shower to warm up. That's when I normally post my workouts. So just like things like that can help. So the final thing she left with was that every decision in your life creates a ripple. and that you want to be thinking about the things that will give you the best result or something like that. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for sharing.
No problem.
Yeah, I know. I definitely want to check into the 5-second rule. So, Amy and Terry, what do you think is better, reading or listening?
Well, I'm listening to it, and can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm listening to it, and I like it because I like her. I don't know, something about her like delivery. She's super casual and chill, and I just like the way she, like, you feel like you're just having a conversation with her. And she's funny, and yeah, it's just super relatable. I really am enjoying it a lot. In fact, I've started to kind of touch on this a little bit on my like page, but I've been doing a lot of like posting and thinking about my two boys and how different they are. And my oldest one struggles a lot socially. And I've been using what she talks about with him, like, because her whole thing is, when you have an instinct to do something, don't allow yourself to think about it. Just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and do it. And so I've been actually using that with him because he has a lot of anxiety and gets nervous about things, and trying to help him get through things like that. And even just going live for me is always like something that I get nervous about. So I'm trying to do that. Just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just go. Don't give yourself an opportunity to think about it. So it's really good. I'm enjoying it a lot.
That's good. What do you think, Amy?
I really like listening to her. I like her voice. I like the way she sounds. Like Terry said, it's just like having a conversation, and you're just like having a conversation with her. And I just feel like the things she talks about are just easy tips that you can just implement right away. Like for me, I'm listening to Rising Strong, and I'm really struggling with listening to it because it's just a lot. And if I don't like care for or like the sound of somebody's voice, like it's hard for me to like dig into it. Like the compound effect, like grated on my, like I just couldn't. I think I just need to read that book because listening to it was terrible. So I feel that way with Rising Strong, but with 5-second rule, like I just wanted to listen to it all the time. Do not listen to it in the car with your kids, though. There's a lot of swearing, a lot of swearing.
Oh, well, good to know.
But it's definitely a book that I would want in print because there are pieces that I want to go back to and like highlight.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, yeah, because I like to highlight and look.
Listen to it though. It's so good. I just like her voice.
And I think the thing about her, the way it doesn't sound like she's reading a book to you. She's just talking. Like she'll burst out laughing sometimes about like an anecdote or just tell a funny story, or it doesn't sound like she's reading a book. She's just talking and telling you all these great things that she knows. But she also has TED Talks too. So you can look her up like on YouTube and on TED Talks. She has those too.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a quick question about the compound effect.
Yeah.
That was that thing you had to text in for, right?
Yeah.
So I texted in and I got the link, and then when I went back to actually download it, the link it said had expired, so I probably should have downloaded it right away. But about how long is that to listen to all the way?
I don't have it on audio. I'm not sure, but the same exact thing happened to me, Jacqueline.
Yeah, I was really frustrated.
Yeah, because I have the print version, so I wasn't like in a rush to get it. But I did try to, and yeah, I didn't get it either. So I'm not sure how long it is.
I emailed him back and I was like, oops, I must have let the link expire, and he never responded. I was like, you email me every day, man. Like you can't email one person back.
Right, yeah. Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But Casey, Mel Robbins is the one person we missed at GoPro. You know that? That's the one where we came in late. Remember we were like sat in the traffic trying to park our car and we couldn't. Yeah. So
Meanwhile, they always have the good ones at the end.
Yeah. And so, yeah, she was at GoPro and she was the only one we missed.
I didn't know that's who we missed. Wow.
Yeah. But, anyways, well, and just to add with Jacqueline said and with the 5-second rule and everything, so I'm working on getting the recording. I haven't gotten it yet, but Tara Carr's presentation was amazing. It's long, it's an hour, but it's like going to be like the most amazing hour. You'll laugh and cry the entire time. So I definitely highly recommend watching that presentation. But at the end, her whole thing was about doing hard things and through like her experiences and everything. And at the end, I guess like Melanie Mitro had like messaged her, like wished her good luck and stuff. So she like added to Melanie's, because Melanie's ending was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm up. Like, and that's her thing, like to get up in the morning. But Tara Carr added 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm up and I can do hard things. And I thought that was cool. She was really good. So definitely whenever I post the recording, check it out. But okay, Casey, do you want to share?
Yes. Okay, so I couldn't pick one, so I picked two things to talk about because they're both really informative, and I love them both. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is Shakeology. So Abby Welsh did a presentation on Shakeology. She's a nutritionist, so she had some, beneficial information that I think it's important for everyone to know. Also, her recording is up on YouTube, and we might be able to post that in the group for everyone to watch, because it's definitely very informative in terms of educating you about Shakeology. And she also has some really good strategies for what she does with her challenge groups and her coaches. But basically, she talked about the difference between the regular Shakeology versus the vegan. So besides the obvious difference, well, they both contain a protein blend. So it's not like it's just whey protein or just one plant-based protein. They both have a blend, and basically that helps you to be able to build and repair muscle. And it also helps to stabilize your blood sugar and keep you fuller longer. So the regular version of Shakeology, this basically contains whey, which is an animal protein. But it also contains plant proteins. Some examples are pea protein, flax, chia, and quinoa. And then the other thing that was important to know about regular Shakeology is that it's fortified with vitamins and minerals. So fortified basically just means added. So the regular Shakeology has added vitamins and minerals. So if you look at the back of your Shakeology packet, you can see like all the different added vitamins and minerals. And then the vegan, this is all plant-based. So this is good to recommend to people who are vegetarians. And it's also good for people who are lactose intolerant. And it's also good for people who might be like maybe on a particular medication where you can't have a lot of a certain type of vitamin or mineral. Like some people, I think, on blood thinners can't have like vitamin K or something. So this one is good because it's not fortified. Basically, this is whatever's bioavailable in this specific bag. So basically, if you compare the labels, you'll be able to see the difference. It doesn't have, like, it has only a couple breakouts of the calorie information. What else? So, and then basically both of them contain antioxidants, and antioxidants protect your body. Also, they contain adaptogens. This helps your body adapt to life and stress, and also the stress of workouts. It also contains probiotics and prebiotics, and those are good for digestive support. It contains phytonutrients. This helps your cells communicate. It helps keep your body in an alkaline state, and it helps to detoxify, and it also supports a strong immune system. So that's pretty much all I had about the ingredients. And then she just talked about like how she's successful. And one thing she does is she does tasting groups. And then she also does Shakeology groups on Facebook. So similar to what we do with our Shakeology groups, but she does them the last week of the month. And then in her group, she basically goes over like one type of ingredient per day. And I think when she said ingredient, I think she meant like goes over antioxidants or adaptogens, like that kind of stuff. And then on the final day, she goes live and shares her story. And then with that group, she also has people purchase the sample pack. And then other things that she does to be successful, and I just took like some quick notes on here, but she basically leads people with 90-day commitments to really help people to commit to drinking Shakeology for 90 days. And she really works on creating challenge groups that help people to get results. So she's very good with checking in with her challengers. Weeks 1 and 2, she checks in via a voice memo. And she also shared a way that you can easily forward the voice memo. And again, if you watch her video on YouTube, she explains all of this in more detail. And then she usually in week 1, she asks questions like, how do you like it? How do you mix it? Are you drinking it every day? Week 2, she makes sure that they are drinking it every day, and then she starts to ask questions like, are you noticing less cravings? Are you having more energy? And then just kind of relates that back to the Shakeology. And then essentially for everyone in these groups, so during month 1, she really just focuses all about them. So she reaches out and sees how they're doing. And then month 2, she helps them to lead by example. So she asks them things like, would you mind sharing your story with, maybe a new person in the group? And then she also said things like, would you be able to keep an eye on, one of the other challengers? Just making sure that they show up every day. So kind of like guiding this person to, do things that a coach does to encourage them that they can do this. And then in the 3rd month, she basically asked them to put together their story and share it in a group. And essentially by doing this kind of gives them the confidence. And then, if they do decide to be a coach, they can also use this as their coming out posts. And she also encourages them to share this on their personal page. And she went into a lot more detail, and it was incredibly helpful, I thought. So I highly recommend watching that one. And then the other speech that Michelle touched on a little bit was Tara Carr. Michelle, is she top 10? Do you know?
She was in the top 10 at one point, yeah.
Okay. She was like mind-blowing. Like I literally needed to leave, and I was like, I can't leave. And I actually didn't take a ton of notes because I was so engrossed. She pretty much for a straight hour had me laughing and crying back and forth the entire time. So I haven't seen anything for her on YouTube yet, but she did post it on her personal page on Facebook. She did the live video. So I would highly recommend watching this. She was really motivational. So basically her message, like Michelle said, was, you can do hard things. This is what she would wake up and tell herself every day. Another really important thing about her is she was driven by her why. And she used that, to accomplish all of her goals. So her family was her why. Her husband was in the military, and he would be gone for really long periods of time. So her goal was to bring him home. She also said, if you're working hard for your family and not putting them first, then if you're not working hard for your family and putting them first, then you have nothing. But basically she just had a really tough life, a painful childhood. Her father left. She, was anorexic at one point. She gained weight with her first child, wasn't happy in her own skin, thought she wanted to divorce her husband. Her husband told her that she needs to fight to love herself first before she divorces him, because he knew she wasn't happy with herself. And she ended up doing TurboFire. She lost 49 pounds in 90 days. Basically, to do this, she didn't want to work out every day, but she got up and told herself every single day, you can do hard things. You can do hard things. And she got great results and ended up entering the contest at the time. And she only wanted the free t-shirt, but she ended up winning. And they ended up flying her to California and sending her a $500 check. And that's kind of how she really got started with Beachbody. But, she continued to have struggles all throughout her life. And every time she would go through something hard or challenging, she would just tell herself, you can do hard things. And that would really help her to get through it. And also keeping in mind, her family, which was her why. So again, that's, just a real quick synopsis, but absolutely worth watching. I would watch it with your husband. I'm going to get Tom to watch it with me because you literally just laugh and cry for the full hour.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I heard that it was on her timeline. I tried looking, but apparently it got cut off. Her phone died or something. So
maybe it did get cut off.
Yeah, but Scott Phillips recorded the whole thing, and he's supposed to upload it.
Okay.
So he was right next to me, recording it. So
can I add something real quick about the Shakeology?
Yeah.
The girl, I forget her name. What was her name?
Abby.
She talked about ways she posts Shakeology, and she had these really cool pictures of Shakeology and fun cups with sprinkles on top. And so I just thought that was kind of a cool way. And she said that way people were asking her about what are you drinking? That looks good, things like that. So that was kind of a way she got interest too.
Yeah, she talked about using Shalene's curiosity marketing with Shakeology, and yeah, she did a good job. Also, everyone that attended the conference is getting an email with the Dropbox files with all the slides, and the slides are super helpful. So as soon as we get those too, we'll share them. Okay. All right, Nicole, how about you?
Hey. Okay, so mine is more, I didn't write down who said what. I just wrote down what like stuck in my head. So the first thing in the very beginning, the word advocate really stuck out to me. And I forget who it was that brought it up, but it was, how do I go from coaching to being a health and wellness advocate? And that I thought was a really big kind of ringer for me, because that can even just change how, from one, how we live our life, to how you post or how you share or how you communicate with your challengers, or how you're inviting. If you just are thinking more based on wanting people to live healthier lives rather than just coaching them, I think that is a good guide. At least for me, it stuck out. And then with that, in addition to that, it was, we must move beyond the idea of living a comfortable focused life and answer the call to be an advocate for those who don't have one. So, just like that, just being an advocate for those who don't have, a healthy lifestyle, and showing them the path. And then the other one was a to-do list equals paralyzing. And sometimes that hit me, because I will write down a million things of what I need to do. I had a million things that hit me at this conference, and then I get home and I'm like, okay, where do I start? Which one do I start with first? What do I think is going to be the most? Because you see, everyone has a different way of doing things. And there are some key points that I think everyone talked about that made them similar, but overall, like, everybody kind of does it differently. And there are a couple of coaches outside of our team that I follow, and they do it differently. Like, their style, their flair, because they're always they're leading with themselves. So it makes it sometimes hard to take that list, because it's like, what in this list is the most me? So with this, they said to take your top 3 things of that list and put action to it. So if you have this really long list that you come home with and you're just really confused and you don't know where to start, take your top 3 of what's most important to you and take action and put action into those top 3 things. So for me, I took my top 3 things, which was just taking more action in me and trying to be more of myself in my posts and not so advertising, and just showing how, Beachbody and Shakeology and my fitness fit into my life. So I definitely really wanted to do that. And then with inviting, I wanted to take it and do a set number. So each day, rather than just kind of having a large number throughout the week, I know it's like every day I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to invite this many people. So 5 is my number right now. And sometimes I do more than 5, but usually it's like, okay, if I just have 5 people in the morning, I'm going to wake up banging out. I got my 5 done, and then I can breathe. And then there was, at the end, this is on Saturday, they had like a Q&A, or this, where a bunch of like random coaches kind of stood up and they spoke what Beachbody meant to them. And it was the second to last girl who spoke, and she was just this coach. I don't know her name. I don't know where she is in ranking, but her passion, when she spoke from her heart, literally, I felt like lit the room up. And she could have, like, I wish they would have let her talk longer, because it was just like, it made my heart start pounding. It was really amazing the way she talked about inviting and investing. And she said that people say invite, 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 but she wants to challenge that and to say it's invite, invest, invite, invest. And I think that rings so true. Yes, it is important to, be challenging your inbox. The more you reach out, the more you're going to get back. The more messages you have out, the more messages you got coming back at you. But you need to invest in your people. You need to invest in yourself. And that for me was, I think, was one of the biggest things that she said. It just hit, yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much, Nicole, for sharing. Um, yeah, I think that it was Jeff Mathewson that talked about that being an advocate, health and wellness advocate. That's how he like kind of opened it up, and I love that aspect too. I also love how Jeff Hill spoke on Friday and Saturday, but he talked about a lot about leaving your mark, and he referenced he's like such a family man. He has 7 children, and he talked about he like related it to being a parent, and it's not like, and he mentioned like it's not what you leave your children, it's what you leave in them. And I and he obviously was relating it to coaching as well, and talked about leaving your mark. And he played this, so he was talking about us, what we leave in people. And he also put together like an awesome video too that I want to get my hands on, that just is like quotes pretty much, but it was just cool. And he told a story about how he when he was working and everything, he didn't know what to do, like what he could leave in his kids, like how he could leave his mark with his kids. And he started this tradition when they were really young. When he would have to leave super early for travel, he would put an X and an O on their hands with a marker. And and they showed it like how when they're like adults now, a picture with all of them having X and O's on their hands. And he talked about his son just left like the day he left to go to Alaska. He's like going to be 22 years old, and he put his X and O on his hand and everything. And he was just relating that to the business, what you leave in people. So he had some great presentations too. But okay, so one of the other presentations was with Ashley Laughlin. She is the current number 13 in the company, and she talks about recruiting like a rock star. And basically she talked about you know share your belief in the company, your belief in yourself, your belief in what we do as coaches. And she talked about, I know we've talked before about creating your avatar, and if you're not familiar with that, that's just you know, getting specific with who you're trying to talk to when you are speaking on social media. Like, like Nicole was just mentioning, even just being more real, opening up, like being yourself, and not necessarily wanting to like please everyone, but your specific group of people. So we've done that before, but I also loved, and I'm going to share my screen, and this is going to be the first thing that we do. She talked about, can you guys see this? Yeah, okay. So she talked about creating a struggle web. And this is a picture of the slide, so it's kind of hard to see. But so like we talk about like people just showing like their highlight reel, but talking about actually, showing the things that you struggle with. And you can relate it to coaching, because she talked about sharing about coaching a lot, and she showed a lot of examples of that. We've talked about that before, but sharing your struggles and how you've overcome them, or how you've dealt with them and stuff. And I love this idea. So I thought this was the first thing that we could do, is create your own struggle web, to be able to have a bunch of ideas of ways that you can use these in your social media posts. So you can see that she uses, in this picture, it's hard to see, but health and fitness struggles, professional struggles, family history struggles. Those were like the main categories. And then she kind of made her web from there. So that was the first thing we're going to do before we move on, is just take a few minutes just to kind of like brainstorm and come up with our own struggle web. All right, so I'll leave this up. Thumbs up, we good? Okay, I'll set my timer. And if you have any questions, just unmute yourself and ask away. Okay, we're going to stop and we're going to move on. Hopefully you were able to create a pretty good web. I did not. Amy just texted me and told us that our kids do not start school on Monday anymore because of the solar eclipse being on Monday and for the safety of our students. Would anyone have any clue why? And I'm sorry I'm asking you this one hour.
Why they can't go to school?
The safety?
Yes, that's what because the email said.
If they look at
real,
the sun,
they changed your school start date because of. That's
Why don't
insane.
they keep them inside if they think that it's like?
Because it's at 2:30, and so maybe they're worried like kids will look up at the sun and damage their eyes. Like 2:30 is when it hits my.
I just so this thing just so Amy just texted me and clearly I started my web and I didn't do it, but it says no matter what superstitions you've heard, there's no risk to your health due to simply being outside during a total solar eclipse. Like I don't know. I was just looking at something on CNN.com, but is that random? Like they literally, our kids were supposed to start on the 21st, and now they're starting the 22nd.
But Michelle, did you also know that parents are in an uproar because they changed the date of homecoming?
Huh.
No.
Like people are fired up about the homecoming date because they've already bought dresses and now some kids can't go because they made plans.
Oh God.
Did they move it earlier?
They made it later.
Well, then deal with it. Like, my goodness.
I don't know why homecoming has to be in September anyway, which is how it is here normally, but now they're all upset that it's like in October. People have they have holiday plans in October. You can't go anywhere.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, sorry about that. Distraction. All right. Back to our power hour. Okay. Next up. All right. So we have make this bigger. We have our sorry. So we have how'd that happen? Okay. We have our coach open house on Thursday night. And so this is an assignment for that. I already have it opened and I posted it in our group. So our coach open house, most of you should know, but if you are new, it is where we share information about the coaching opportunity through like text and posts. But then we also started doing live videos. So there are a series of live videos on there about some coaches telling their story about how they got started as a coach, some misconceptions or hesitations about coaching, the rewards of coaching, and just like a thank you. So it's been working really well. It's a great way to show the opportunity. It's a great way for, to kind of take the pressure off of you so much explaining everything and using this event to explain everything. So this challenge for you is to add 5 people to our coach open house and to follow up with a message to let them know about the event. So here are just some sample invites, and I'll actually copy and post these in the team page. But the first one is using an example of someone that's in a challenge group that like a challenger that you think would be great at coaching. And then the second one is someone that maybe isn't in a challenge group, but is someone that loves health and fitness and is just a positive person. You think this would be a great opportunity for them. So just 2 different examples of messages to send them. And like I said, I add them to the event first, and then I just follow up with this message. And I include at the bottom, I put the little asterisks, I include a link to the event in the message at the end so they can find it easily. Because in the past, I haven't always done that, and they're kind of like, where is it? Like, I don't know where it is. So, so I'll copy and post these in the team page for you to use. So we'll just take a few minutes to go ahead and add 5 people to the event, and then follow up with these messages. All right, and go. Let me know if you have any questions.
I have a question.
Sure.
I have a friend I've been thinking of who is a Zumba instructor.
Yeah.
Is it true that you can continue to teach Zumba after you sign up to be a Beachbody coach?
Yes, there are all different instructors.
Okay, so
you don't have to be you don't have to be a Beachbody Live instructor to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can be a coach and a Zoom instructor at the same time. It's not like conflicting interests or anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I have a question.
Sure.
To kind of tag on to that, because I do have several friends that are really into health and fitness, but they have other outlets, so they don't have to necessarily use Beachbody programs. I know that doesn't mean that they couldn't use like the performance line or Shakeology, but any tips on how if they're doing well in their own health and fitness, and how would I approach Beachbody to them if they don't necessarily need the program?
But so you're thinking to them as like a coach at the coach side of it?
Yeah, whether it's coaching, because they're really, a cousin of mine, she's really into CrossFit, and and then another friend of mine as well is into CrossFit, and it's great. I think as long as people have the outlet that they need or that they're looking for, more power to them. So I never want to discourage that if that's what they like to do. But how do I present Beachbody is to say you don't have to do our programs to be a coach?
I would simply message them and mention asking if they were interested in an opportunity to help more people. I would put it kind of like that way, because not everyone can go to the gym, go do CrossFit or whatever. But this would be because they are interested in health and fitness. Just thought that they might want to help more people and be able to reach more people this way.
Okay.
Like that.
Cool.
Does that help? Does anyone else have any other ideas?
Yes.
Okay. And it's kind of similar to the second message that I had posted, kind of, tweaking that, just saying like, I know you do your own thing and that's totally fine. But I just thought, the fact that you have such a passion for health and fitness, I thought you would be great at this if you would want to try something where you could reach more people and be able to help more people this way. All right, I just posted those in the team page, the examples.
Michelle, you were saying that to add people to the page, because usually I ask them first if they would like to be invited. Do you personally add them and then tell them that, hey, you can go to this page?
Yeah, because it's an event. It's not a group. So that's why so like the event is like technically the invite. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's why I add them to the event, and then they can respond going, can't go, maybe, or whatever. So that's why, yeah, the event is technically the invite, but I just follow up with a message to let them know that I invited them to this event.
Okay.
Because I know for me, a lot of times I overlook some of those invites that I get through events. So that's why I follow up with the message.
Gotcha. Because yeah, usually I've been approaching it as, would you like me to invite you to this event? You know, and I sort of do the back channels first.
Yeah, no, I do it the other way. I think that because I don't know, when I invite them and then I put that little like message up, it kind of they realize it's an event. It's not like it goes away after the, you know what I mean? Like after, it's not like a group that they're put in that they're like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah. So it's like a one-time thing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We'll go to the last thing that I had, and then you guys can, if you're still working on this, obviously you can finish up, but I'll go to the last slide that I had. Oh. Okay. So the last assignments are just kind of quicker assignments, but not the third assignment is to send 5 connection messages. So these are just our messages just to simply say hi, how are you, how's your summer been, question kind of like that. Obviously nothing Beachbody related, you're just building relationships with people and just having a genuine interest in what's going on with them. The fourth one, create 3 posts for social media. So this might take longer and you might not get to all of them, but it's helpful. I find that it's helpful when I come up with, a lot of times I'll come up with text in my notes section of my phone ahead of time, and I just have it ready to go, and I know which image I'm going to use, and it's easy to post it, especially if I want to post it at like a popular time of day. The fifth one, this is quick and easy. Friend request 3, friends of friends, and then number 6, just to check into your challenge groups. So I will add these to our team page as well, and then we just have like less than 10 minutes to go. We can work on this, and then if anyone has any questions, we can answer questions, and then we are good to go.
Hey, Michelle.
Yeah.
From Summit, I took this away. I forget which session it was, but I did my note cards where I did the what is normal about me card, 3 things about that, what makes me special or unique, and what have I overcome. And I actually did these on the plane on the way to the Dominican Republic. So it's been great because I can just kind of go through and just like I wrote all these things down that are like easy post starters. So hopefully like it's an easy way to just kind of like generate some different information on your page.
Right. Yeah. That was from Body Angle. I wasn't at that training.
Yeah.
I thought that Steph had talked about that. So did she say to do that weekly?
Monthly.
Okay.
Monthly.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you make your list of 3 or 4 things, 3 things, and then you have post starters for the whole month.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, and when I say about the social media posts, having them done ahead of time, it's nice when you, especially like when you're trying to, like obviously you have posts that are going to have less content, but when you're trying to add more value, doing those ahead of time is helpful. And especially like with what Amy said, if you have those note cards and you have those ideas already in front of you too, that makes it easier to generate those posts.
Okay. It's also easy, like you said, to have the picture, right? Like if you see something that you want to use, save it into your photos, and then that way you know it's already there. You don't have to like think of something to go along with it. Like if something strikes you, save it and just like make a note or do something so you remember why you wanted to post that.
Yeah. Okay. You guys can go ahead and work on that. We don't have much time left.
Amy, what were those questions again? I got the first two. What is normal? What is unique?
What is normal about me? What makes you special or unique? And what have I overcome?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. One of mine is driving through the tunnels in Pittsburgh.
Michelle, question for you.
Sure.
I wanted to join that Dynasty Surge group, but can you add me to that?
Which one?
There was something about I think Lindsay tried to add me and couldn't add me or something.
Like the invite surge one?
The invite surge is probably one, and then the other one was when I was asking about like what side should I put my husband on and my mom on, like how to keep going after that.
So
the income.
Income surge, yeah.
The income one, yeah.
I posted all of those in our team page, I believe.
Okay.
Look in the file section first.
Okay, thanks.
Because they've been over for a while. I'm not sure that they're adding more people into them. But
okay.
I did try to grab all the files.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, I have a random question. Actually, our realtor stopped by our house. He sold us our house 7 years ago, and now he's looking to move in our neighborhood. And currently, he's dog walking. That's about his level of exercise, and he's 65 and wants to maybe start something to lose his big gut. But like, what do you what do you start this guy out on?
UV2.
Yeah, or I mean, how's 10-minute trainer? I haven't.
10-minute trainer. I mean.
No. Huh? Amy?
Mike started with 10-minute trainer. It's intense. I mean, it's 10 minutes, but
Okay.
right, Mike?
Yeah. What about Power 90? Or like just P90?
That's what yeah, P90 would be another one.
P90 is another like entrance program. It's not.
Okay, so P90 UV2, and then maybe 10-minute trainer, depending on how he's. Okay.
Mike struggled when he did it, and he was not in the best shape, but he at least was doing some things, and he struggled.
Yeah, they're short, but they can be intense. I think P90 would be better.
But here's the good thing. You can recommend all access, and you can give him programs to try, and he can figure out. Like, so what's nice is you don't have to pinpoint exactly what he needs to get, because he can get access to everything, and just tell him the ones to try, and he can find the program that he wants to do.
Oh, sure. It's very overwhelming. You go to the page and there's like 50 programs. I just wanted like 2 or 3 to kind of.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, yeah, you can recommend all access, but then tell him, then he is able to try. He can try something from 10-minute trainer. He can try something from UV2 and P90 and see which one he likes.
Okay. And what is because actually one of my challengers was kind of interested in P90. Is it like you said like an intro, like maybe P90X?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a less intense P90X. It's I believe they're all 30 minutes, but it's like an entrance program, so it kind of eases you into that type of workout, and then you can move to the X programs after you do that.
That sounds good, because she's doing right now, she really likes dancing stuff, so she's doing like hip hop abs right now and stuff, but she was thinking about changing it up and maybe adding some weights into it. So that sounds like maybe that would be a good one for her to transition into.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, well, we are just about up on our hour. Does anyone else have any questions at all?
I have 2 questions.
Sure.
I have somebody who signed up for the 14-day free trial last night. She wants to do cardio with no weight. So I recommended, and she wants like a half hour, so I recommended T25. Is there anything else that's right around that time? She already has Country Heat on DVD, so she has tried that. Is there anything else that's like pure cardio, the whole program, no weight?
Max 30 would be 2.
Okay, I suggested that
And
one, but
Turbo Fire, but it's Turbo Fire has some longer workouts, but that's all cardio too.
Yeah.
okay, gotcha. So max 30, is that probably harder than T25?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And T25 actually has weights in it in the second phase.
Right, that's right. I meant to say like just for the trial when she's doing the first 2 weeks, that would have no weight, so she doesn't have any weights yet. Okay, good. And then the other question I was going to ask you guys is, I want to work on upper body more after Ship Shot myself. What do you recommend? I'll probably need like 30 minutes because I'll be back to school at that point.
What have you done 21 Day Fix Extreme yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hammer and chisel.
The thing about hammer and chisel is it has a ton of extra equipment that I don't have.
Yeah.
So that's what I was nervous about with that. So
when I did hammer and chisel, I didn't have all the equipment. I didn't have a bench. I used an exercise ball for the whole thing. I didn't have like a crazy ton of weights. We happened to have resistance bands. So you definitely don't need to have a ridiculous amount of equipment.
Okay, so I have weights and a resistance band, so I should probably be okay then?
Yeah. But I mean, even if you did like max 30 gives you a lot of upper body strength because you do a lot of planks, push-ups, things on the floor.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say core de force. You use your upper body.
You get shredded with core de force. There are some longer ones, but I mean, there are lots of people even in this group that broke up like those longer 47-minute workouts. You do part in the morning and part later.
Yeah, they were easy to cut.
Yeah, core de force is good.
Yeah, I mean, my upper body was destroyed after Friday because I hadn't done core de force in a while. It was like destroyed. But yeah, it's a good one.
Okay, thanks, guys.
You're welcome. All right, I love that like people were asking questions, and this was very engaging. I love this. So thank you for asking questions, and thank you for being on.
I like that it was a more non-traditional power hour. Like I feel like we got a lot done.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like individual work.
You know, we were looking up stuff about solar eclipse.
That's the important things in life.
But is that the slide that you made? Is that in the group? Because I need to do that stuff tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna add the rest of it. I didn't even get to post the last bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll post it in there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. Have a
Bye.
great evening.